What's up, YouTube? This is gonna be my first video on this channel, and I figured that this video would be about Penn Foster. Penn Foster is a distance learning school that does online schooling for veterinary technician. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because when I was starting to go to school, I was looking for videos and reviews on Penn Foster, and I couldn't find any. So I figured now that I've been through one semester and I've kind of experienced it for myself, I can kind of answer those questions that I wish could have been answered for me from the start. But I'm hoping I can answer some of those questions and maybe help out some of you that are considering going to school. So a couple of things that, okay, so to start off, Penn Foster is a distance learning school, meaning that it is done online. So you don't go to campus. The school is out of Arizona, so you can pretty much be anywhere. I'm in Florida, so I took it online. It is 2 years. The program's 2 years if you do it on time. If you're on time with yourself, each semester should be no longer than like 6 months, but they do give you 12 months to complete the semester. They offer financing options. That's another thing. You don't have to pay your tuition all up front. You have to re-enroll every semester, but you don't have to pay it all up front, if that makes sense. So you have the option to finance and basically pay as you go. So what they do is they'll charge you, it's like $59 every month that you're in school. And your books are included, which are a pro. That's awesome. I think that your books are included. You don't have to pay for them separate. Talking about textbooks and everything, I'm actually going to go ahead and insert a clip of the books that I've received and just kind of give you guys, like, I don't know, I guess just a sneak peek at those books if you cared to know what they look like. But I'll go ahead and insert those here. So biology had a textbook. This is the textbook. And I mean, honestly, the books, I can't really complain. The books are good, I would say. I like them a lot. They're not really like hardcover. They're that paperback kind of book. And yeah, this is now the second book. This one is the anatomy book. Now anatomy for semester 1 is split up into part 1 and part 2, but you take it in the same semester, and this is the same book that you use for both. So this is like some of the stuff you have in here. You know, there's pictures and stuff, which is great, especially if you're visual. I just wish there was like videos and stuff that kind of went with all of this, because I mean, pictures are nice, but I don't know, I really like videos. I feel like videos, you just learn a lot better video wise, in my opinion. But yeah. Yeah, you have 12 months to complete the semester if you choose to complete it in 12 months. If you're shooting for the 2-year gap to be a vet tech and get your associates in science, which is what you get. You get an associate's in science and you get certified in veterinary technician. So I guess those are the pros, I would say, are your books being included, the fact that you have the option to finance if you're somebody like me that couldn't pay the full tuition, which is like $1,000 and something per semester. They give you that option to finance, which I think is great. Some cons, well, I mean, you can call them cons. I would say they're cons, but these are things that I guess I wish I would have known when I started. So something that I find like extremely inconvenient is how hard it is to contact your instructor. Your instructors don't have an email, some of them. You have to call what's called student care. They give you a phone number. You call student care, and they're the ones that put you through with your instructor, which I think is kind of silly. And sometimes they're not even available. I found that problem with one of my instructors. She was really hard to reach, and I just didn't like playing phone tag with my teacher. Not only that, I would have much preferred to send out an email instead of trying to call them and reach out to them. Other things, written assignments. Penn Foster is designed to go at your own pace. That is why you have 12 months to complete the semester, and it's supposed to be flexible with your schedule, which is great. You know, if you're, you know, full-time, like you have a job, you know, I work and I go to school, so it's definitely convenient. But you have to be very disciplined if you're going to do this program. There's no teachers pushing on you, nobody telling you what to do. It's really self-taught. You're disciplined. You have to do it yourself. You have to put in the time and push yourself to do it. So I find that's really hard. The teaching materials are a little weird too. They send you textbooks, which are great. They'll send them to you through the mail, and you have the option of picking hardcover, or you could do what's it called? I forget. It's called like an electronic book. It's the one that's online. You can choose to use the one that you just view from your computer, or you could choose to do hardcover, which is what I chose. Be in mind though that not all the books are going to come hardcover, only some of them will. The other thing. So they send you a textbook, and then they tell you what chapters you should be reading. They'll give you PowerPoints, videos that you can watch for some. Not all classes had it. Actually, one of the classes that I really wish had videos was anatomy. Anatomy, for some reason did not have the chapters in a video, which I thought was like really like inconvenient, especially for something so difficult like that. And for somebody like me that's a visual learner, you know, I like it when I can actually see it. Like, I just learn better that way. I mean, I'll reading's fine, but that's just not the way the information clicks for me, unfortunately. And that's really a big con for me with this school, is the fact that a lot of it is very, a lot of it's written. Like, you just have to read, you read the notes, you read the PowerPoints, it's all reading. So I don't really like that much. But, this might be a pro, this might be a con for some of you. The next point, there's no homework and no assignments. Like, there's literally no homework, there's no assignments, there's no due dates for anything. It's weird, like, in the system, you pick when you want to complete the semester by. So, depending on what date you choose, and then your student portal will kind of give you dates that you should be completing your work by, but that's not that you have to. That's just to help you and kind of guide you and help you stay on track, basically, to reach that goal. That's the only reason they give you those dates. But you really don't have to. You, again, go at your own pace, and there's no homework, there's no assignments. You have the chapters that you're supposed to read and study for, and then you take a quiz on those chapters. And then for each class, there is a final at the end. The final is the only thing that's proctored. Keep in mind that the quizzes are not proctored, so it's very easy to cheat on them and look up the answers if you want to, just to get a good grade. The only thing is you end up cheating yourself for the final, because the finals are extremely hard. They are proctored, and what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, they're proctored, and they're just really difficult, and they don't really give you a study guide for those. You really just have to know your stuff, so that's a really hard thing. And then as far as finals, like being proctored, you have the option of, I don't know too much about this one because this isn't the one that I chose, but you have the option of picking a proctor. Like, you have to find someone that can be your proctor. However, there are certain credentials that person has to meet in order for them to be your proctor. So, moving on from that, let's say you have a proctor. What happens is the school, once you have all your coursework completed, all your coursework has to be done to complete that final. Once it's done, that final will be sent to your proctor, and then that proctor is supposed to, watch you take your test, and then you send it back in for a grade. And I think you have a certain amount of time to complete that test once they send it out. Or you could do it online, which is what I did, where you need to make sure your computer has webcam, microphone, that it fits the credentials so that you can take it at home. And basically they just record you taking your test. And let me just say, don't even try and cheat on it, because they will get you. They will. They make you basically videotape the area around you, your desk. You have to work at a clean desk, no music, no papers, no phone, nothing. Everything has to be clean. And if they suspect you're cheating, they could give you a low grade. Well, usually they'll give you a warning at first, and then after that, if you do it again, or if they suspect you're cheating again, then they're gonna like invalidate your test basically, which sucks. But keep in mind though, if you're gonna do the online Proctor, it is convenient, but you do have to pay a $10 fee to use that. And it's really, really hard, because they really do proctor you. Like, it's no joke. Like, they actually, because I was going to a community college before where I did proctored tests like that, and I swear half the time, like, I thought my test was going to be invalidated because of, you know, I may have tried to cheat, or someone may have come and talked to me while I was taking my test, and nothing ever came of it. But as far as Penn Foster, like, they're really serious about proctoring their tests. Like, they actually really do look at the footage and verify that a student's not cheating. So they're very serious about their finals, and their finals, in my opinion, are like nearly impossible to pass. So that's the other problem I have, is the fact that it's like, you have to study. No one's really guiding you on what to study. You're extremely self-taught. Like, keep that in mind. You are self-taught. If you're okay with being disciplined and teaching yourself, then this school is great for you. But if you'd rather have someone teaching you and kind of guiding you and helping you out, I honestly wouldn't recommend it, because you have to teach yourself. Then you have to take a quiz on it. The quizzes are super easy, so they make you feel like, oh, I got this. But then when it comes to the final, you're like extremely unprepared, because those quizzes were so easy compared to the final. So that, to me, was just kind of a mess. And then for written assignments, for some classes, for example, like biology, I had to fill out a research paper for it. Let me tell you about that. So the research paper was literally like phone tag. I don't even know why, but I completed my paper, right? I sent it to be graded. They sent it back to me with corrections that I needed to make. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll fix it. Fix the paper, submit it again. They sent it back to me and told me more stuff to fix. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I fixed it again, turn it back in. Third time it gets returned to me, but instead of with corrections on the paper, they were accusing me of plagiarism. So I flipped out. That's when I started trying to reach out to my instructor, which I found was very difficult because she wasn't available, or all this stuff happened, whatever. Finally reached out to her. I sent it out to her to be graded. But it's all this back and forth, and come to find out, you know, I thought she was grading the paper this whole time, but when she responded back to my email, because, you know, I had to file a complaint, I was really upset that, you know, my paper kept being sent to me over and over and over again, and then at the end, I was being accused of plagiarism. So then she basically told me that they have, what did she say? It was like, they have assigned, like, I don't know, basically they have graders, I guess you could say, like individuals that their job is to grade these papers for the instructor. So basically your work is not being graded by your instructor. So my paper was being sent back to me. My paper got sent back to me like 3 times. So that means each time I submitted my paper, somebody else was grading it. So the problem with that is okay, so the first time it was sent back to me, this person gave me these corrections but said this part of the paper is fine. Okay, turn it in. Then the second person goes against what the first person said. So it's almost like what they end up grading your paper as, it's very contradicting, and it doesn't help you as a student. You know, if you're being told that, you know, let's say your thesis was great, you just needed to work on your citations. All right, so you do that. And then the next person tells you, oh, your citations were bad. It's too complicated, way too confusing. So I personally don't like that about Penn Foster. I was under the impression that my instructor was grading my paper, and to find out that random people were grading it each time just made it extremely like complicated. And yeah, that's pretty much all that covers it. I mean, if you guys have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Just drop them down below. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys.